Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode where we review the latest episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. Today is season 5, episode 9. It's the penultimate called Fissure Quest. We are your hosts. I am Olympus, and this is.
I am Ben. And does that sound like a Fisher Price or something like that? I was thinking that's where
Fisher
it was going
Price,
when we said
yeah.
that title.
Yeah. That sort of toddler baby toy company. Fisher Price,
So
Fisher.
about the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
age for us then.
definitely.
Yeah.
Different kind of Fisher. And oh my God, what an episode this one is. I
Oh
mean,
yes.
wow. It's. I've been waiting. I mean, I've enjoyed all the episodes this season, but it's been the slower season than I was expecting. It being the last one, I was waiting for this. There's so many cameos. It's insane. The story's decent. It's starting to finally get to grips of the whole, subspace potholes and what that's all about. Um, returning characters as well. My head was spinning with it. My jaw was dropping the entire way through. I love the twist that we'll talk about shortly too. I mean, I'm over the moon with this episode. And of
Good.
course, you get the extra twist, don't you? That actually the episode's not based on the Cerritos, and it's not focused
Yeah.
on the Cerritos crew per se. So, a very different episode, but so much fun. So, Ben, do you want to say anything else before we get straight into things?
Not particularly, other than very early on, I did send my co-host a meme saying, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and this was about 5 minutes in, because this was before the opening credits. I think it might have been before the opening credits. I'll tell you in a minute. We can remember if it's right or not. But anyway, no, I absolutely love this straight on. Now let's go through why I like this, and I presume why Olympus liked it. I'm guessing. So we started off with a typical scene. Them on their break. Rutherford is having issues with his ocular implant, and that's for a couple of minutes, or maybe for a minute. That's where I was thinking it was going. It's going to be something to do with his ocular implant that will get us going, and it shoots out plasma randomly. Which, yeah. Anyway, Boimler has a daydream, or almost, so that he goes into the world of, oh, what's he doing? And then, meanwhile, somewhere else in the galaxy, or the quantum reality, 58276, and I'm not sure what that symbol stands for, so unless you know it.
Not off the top of my head. It's definitely Greek. Um, and
Yeah,
yes,
I was supposed.
it's landing with us on the bridge of a Section 31 ship and one William Boimler, which was very exciting. I've been wondering when we'd get to see him again.
And that was my first suspicion, Section 31. You reckon it really is Section 31?
Look at his badge. It's definitely Section 31.
Oh, I didn't actually look at the badge, actually, thinking about it. So, yeah, that serves me right. And he is actually a captain. He's got 4 pips. It wasn't just a captain's log. So he is captains. Yeah, and we go have this quantum fissure open up that they've gone through. And yeah, you've got all these characters. T'Pol, Curzon Dax, Surgeon Garrick. And then when Bashir, hubby Bashir walked in, that's where I sent the OMG meme. It was like, really, you've gone there. Wow. And I'm skipping a little bit ahead, but all those Harry Kims as the rest of the crew. So funny.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, apparently Harry Kim is a very popular um, multiversal character to pop up everywhere. And all of them, bar one, was an ensign, which was hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm glad they played with that other in outer universe
They had to.
uh,
That was a
joke.
no-brainer, wasn't it? They absolutely had to do that. And you know what? As far as I can tell as well, not only are these original characters from different shows returning, um, it's all the original actors as well, which is really, really sweet.
I was meaning to check that because I wondered if that was Blakelock playing to Paul or not. So
It's
because I don't.
yeah, it is. The credits only have her listed as Jolene, but it's
Jolene
her.
Blakelock, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I was meaning to go because I know she hasn't done much since. And I don't go much onto the convention scene, but she's not one of the faces that I usually see come up. I've never seen her character come up, so brilliant. Wow. That should have been my favourite moment, but it's not out of all these appearances. Because T'Pol is one of my favourite characters of all time. She really is. Instead of me daydreaming in here, let's go back into this. The Annex Manda, the ship's called.
A what?
Am
Sorry?
I? The Annex Imanda,
Something like that.
ANXIMANDR.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
catch it, and then I got too pulled into the story and everything else to double check it, I'm afraid.
fair enough. Fair enough. We have lots of bubbles of realities going
Like a
on. So
bubble
they're saying,
bath.
yeah, it definitely is a bubble bath of realities. So yeah, that was quite fun. Please stop me at any point because I'm skipping because I'm skipping a little bit fast through some of these bits here.
No, no, that's fun. Look,
But
there's a lot to cover off, mate, and if we tried to go really in depth, we would be here all night. So no, let's just go high level through the key points.
yeah, Bonner is fed up and goes off. He's more of the corners of the galaxy rather than the alternative versions of
Yeah, he
realities.
he feels like he's every single alternate reality he jumps into, it's more of the same thing. It's the same people. It's just different. They're mixed up and odd, but it's essentially the same thing over and over and over again. Whereas when he's exploring the galaxy, you're encountering new aliens, new worlds, new civilizations. All that boulder going stuff. So yeah, he's struggling at this point quite a bit. But I don't think he struggles for very long.
No, it's because he misses people, I believe, which we'll find out when we get Mariner. I'm jumping a little bit ahead again, but only by a small amount. But when Mariner in a yellow shirt comes aboard and gives her the biggest hug ever, it's
Engineer Mariner, yeah, that's what I've referred to her as. Um, Interesting to see her as an engineer and to be a more timid version of Mariner as well. This is a Mariner who doesn't like jumping into danger and being this, um, what do you call it? This gung ho, fearless person. No, she prefers to just sit in engineering and tinker with her stem bolts and yeah, that's her zen.
it's the moment also where she sounds you sound surprised talking to Boimler when it's like you're a good engineer. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, that sums
You sound
real
surprised. Sorry.
um, Mariner up, and it's like yeah, I would probably have the same reaction to be honest. So can't argue with that. We got the Garrick and Bashir going on. There was a comment about the stats of them getting together was so improbable.
Yes, but again, it's another one of those things. They made the whole point about the Harry Kims and their ranks. They're making the whole point about Garrick and Bashir being an old married couple, essentially, which is exactly how they act in DS9 once they get really familiar with each other. So yeah, it's just another one of those little things that the writers are playing on, which is really good fun.
Yeah, so yeah, you have them starting the arguments of thing and that going on for a while. All the Kims we've mentioned. I like one thing I want to mention out about Garrick and Bashir. I like the way the holodeck Bashir trans turns himself off and reappears himself in another, but instead of walking there. That makes so much sense for a hologram.
It does, doesn't it? I guess I was about to say,
Okay.
why doesn't the Doctor do that in Voyager? But it's because the no, he could do that. He could do that in sick bay. because it's got hollow emitters. So why the heck did the Doctor never do that in Voyager?
Yeah, it's very rare for him to. I've seen it, but it would be the effects. That's the complete issue. Is probably going to take back in the 90s the money to be able to have to do that. I know they've done that like in the Mirror Universe with Kira having two of her basically in the same place
Yeah,
facing each other, but yeah, it would have been hard work, which is not necessarily an excuse, but it's a way to save money, I suppose. Um, Rift reappears. We do get Yellow Shirt, Rano back in, and they all end up in the mess hall where you have. We found out that Troy in that Mariner's universe is the one who got had the transporter accident and left on the planet instead of Riker, which was very interesting. And it's also nice that it is slightly different, as in it's the married couple that it was the. But I'm still, yeah, I'm still wondering why how if it happened exactly the same show, like she was the. It doesn't feel like it's her role to do exactly what Riker did on that in that
but
TNG episode.
but then in saying that, I expect her role was probably different. At least that's what my headcanon says. I mean, we've got a mariner from another
Yeah,
universe who's an engineer rather than in command, so to speak. So
yeah, and we could have Riker as the new counselor in that universe. So
imagine it would not work.
yeah, I'll give you that thought. So
That would not work.
okay, so then we had the Kims discuss having a little bit of a discussion, and you hear them as we pan away. What happened with Tuvix?
I really
So that
wanted to know, and you don't get to hear it. That was an evil thing the writers did, but it worked well.
yeah, it worked well. Love it. So Paul and Dax having Kerr's on Dax having a chat and about his health and looking after the symbiont and going. We haven't got a replacement for that, so there's for Bolden for the rest of the episode. Then we go back to Boiler Mariner, where we find out that she's worked out what the issue is, and it's like Boiler's like, "You what? Wow, okay, let's let's get up to the bridge."
Yes, and
Any
from
thoughts?
there you establish the best way for them to capture the ship causing all of these, them thinking they're the bad guys. They do that. They get the ship through, and after a quick chase and some micro warp jumps with per engineer Mariner being plastered to the floor by like 10 times gravity, they manage to disable the ship, which crash lands on a planet. Um, I don't want to skip anything by accident, but um, obviously they get to the planet, and these very cute axolotl type aliens are inhabiting the place. In Mariner's universe, they're lovely, adorable creatures who wouldn't hurt a fly, but these guys are evil and they've got sharp teeth and they want to zap you with their pokey things. So they all end up in jail. And that's when you come across the crew of the other ship, also in jail. And my heart melted when I realized who the captain was. Lily from Star Trek First Contact, again played by the same
Yay!
actor. I was absolutely thrilled. That was lovely. And her entire take on the positive spin of exploring quantum realities rather than exploring space. It opens William Boimler's eyes, but it opened mine as well as I was watching it. It was a lovely philosophical sort of twist almost. And also, you've got the twist that these guys aren't actually bad guys, they're just explorers, a different type of Starfleet.
Yeah, and yeah, it's something sciencey that's gone wrong, as in the energy had to go somewhere else, and that's what's causing it.
Yeah.
And one thing I did think about this, having been a Star Trek fan for a few years now, is they're almost, as in Lily is almost and the crew, almost exploring the human condition.
Yes.
I don't know if we've come across that before at all in Star Trek.
I'm not sure. You could argue that the Q continuum maybe were.
What? Yeah.
Also not,
But
because
what about the
Q
Star
just
Trek
like to
fans
mess around with them.
and the writers? I was going down that ride.
Yeah, 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 I can see where you're coming from with that.
No, but that was good. And actually, thinking about it, yeah, the Q continuum look at the human condition, or
Oh, and you had
certain Q does.
sorry for interrupting. You had, is it Nagilum
Interrupt away.
in TNG as well? Who was um this big blue face in space, but he was basically using the Enterprise crew's lab rats and testing different things out on them.
Oh yes, yes,
Not quite the
yeah.
testing of human condition that you want, but you had him as well. The more you talk about the
Evidence.
writers and the viewers of Star Trek exploring the human condition through the show, that's beautiful, that, mate. That is really beautiful.
And yeah, that I suppose that's one thing they say about sci-fi is another way to explore what's going on, whether that's uh, black rights in America or and any half the world, to be honest, back in the '60s, or gay rights, or you probably could give. I probably could come up with a long list if I had
Lots
time.
of
But
politics. There's lots of politics explored as well
yeah.
as big political influences. Um, yeah, Star Trek's been great for that throughout.
Anyway, you find out they've got a quantum reality drive instead of the warp drive, which they Cochrane and the came up with. Um, then Garrett comes to the rescue and helps find. And there's a comment of something along the lines. It's like, how does he know how to fight? He has. I didn't quite say he has skills that you are unaware of, but
I'm not just a doctor. I think it was something like that he says, wasn't it? So it's
yeah.
nice to see that
So,
that version of Garrick still has the um, covert, hidden, mysterious past vibe to him. And he's a good fighter, good combat. He takes on those axolotl aliens very well. Unfortunately, gets mortally wounded. I knew it as soon as he was limping across the bridge and the expression on his face. I'm like, nah, he's hiding an injury. Curzon's gone.
yeah, and that was Dax. Yeah, Curzon, and that was Curzon for that one. Yeah, which was. I thought somebody was going to come back. I was thinking somebody else would end up as a Dax symbiote, but which they sort of did
Sort
with.
of. And sort of not. It was almost like, we can't save the symbiont, but we'll save his memories. Mine to your mind.
There was, it's like yeah, it got Dax's Catra out of that, so that was brilliant.
Yes. And of course, just after, well, just before that, I should say, you had Lily's ship being abducted by none other than the real enemies of the episode, the Kims.
It is
Or just one
you
Kim, really.
you first see that look when he is in prison cell, just as everybody's escaping. It's like Kims get mistreated in all the other universes. It's like, come on, including this one.
They don't get mistreated, they just have a severe lack of ambition. I might be
Oh
wrong. I might
yeah,
be mean. If you disagree with me, guys, go in the comments. I love Harry Kim as a character, by the way. I'm not slagging him off for any other reason than to have a bit of fun because he is a great character. But he is not promoted for a very good reason. And I
and
think what
yeah,
this episode proves is that the moment a Harry Kim has enough ambition and enough drive to be promoted, he is not actually Starfleet material at all, and he goes and gets himself blown up.
yeah. But then again, I would say Paris is not doesn't necessarily have the ambition either.
No,
He has
but
moments of having it, but
yeah, but he's a bit more. He's a bit more of a gung ho Han Solo type character. So he's got more of that confidence and drive and charisma about him that probably leans more towards the promotion side of things. And then you do, to back yourself up, have the fact that he does get demoted at least
yeah,
once.
and it's yeah, and I don't think okay, fine, give him the lieutenantship because he's the good pilot, he's the lead pilot. fine. That goes with maybe the position he was given, like they did with B'Elanna Torres.
It's
Fine.
also tenure, isn't it? Because I mean, B'Elanna not as much, right? That was more political. But think about like Kim's brand new, fresh out of Starfleet Academy.
Which is fine.
Paris has already been in Starfleet. I can't remember how many years, but he
Not
has.
really. No, it's days, I think. Months, maybe.
Really? I think it was more than
Yeah,
that.
I don't.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Again, viewers and listeners, if you know the answer, comment below.
Yeah. So it for me, it's okay. So maybe because Kim's not as charismatic, he doesn't get the ranking that he probably should have. Okay, neither does anybody else, but he's just ended up with that title. But he has the position there that he is the top operations person, so he probably should have got that promotion. Anyway, this is not a conversation about them. This is about the jokes of him being an ensign.
But that's the thing.
So
That's a good thing about this episode, though, isn't it? Like it's getting us talking about Harry Kim in a big way again, which is lovely because he's a character that deserves a lot of focus and a lot of recognition. So yeah, let's stop talking about Kim though. Apart from the fact that he abducts that ship along with all the other Kims who don't want to be there, they end up fighting each other. Then they get rescued and saved by William Boimler before Lieutenant Kim, in his infinite wisdom, decides to go and blow himself up. Almost creating a calamity that could have wiped out every single universe. And what does William Boimler think the solution to that is? Oh, wait, I know. I'm going to send it straight to the one universe that we've been watching for the last 5 seasons. Let them deal with it because I trust them. It's like you trust them. That's great. You value and appreciate them. No, you just don't want yourself wiped out of existence, mate. That's what's going on there.
yeah, no, definitely. Oh, maybe a little bit,
No, I'm
but
being
it's
cynical on
nothing.
purpose. I'm being really, really sarcastic and cynical. I said, I'm sorry, guys. I've got a lot of energy from this watching this episode today. No. In all seriousness, William Boimler determines very quickly that he knows that the people in his universe, if anyone has a chance of saving the day, it's going to be them. They'll work it out, which is why he points the energy towards his original universe. I do absolutely love as well that he was like, yeah, I'll send my Boimler copy a message. I'll let him know what's going down. As long as he doesn't freak out, it'll be totally fine. They'll be able to manage this
We
no
are all going
problem.
to die.
Yeah. He's running away and there's crashing and all sorts, and I'm just like, yeah, that is absolutely phenomenal. That's Boimler to a T right there. He should have messaged
Yeah,
Mariner.
definitely. Yeah, and it's definitely the same person. Oh, God knows what Mariner would do, was it? To be honest,
Well,
Tindy
true.
would. Oh,
Tendy,
be the.
Tendy. Rutherford would lose his mind as well. Tendy. It needed to go to Tendy. Um, and before we go any further, because I mean we're pretty much there now, but Boimler's beard, it's finally full.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah. Hey, on the beard front, we've got one episode left to do something with it.
He needs to shave it
You
off.
reckon it's? I reckon it's gonna come off.
I
When
think
he
it will because he
realizes,
needs to realize his own direction, his own potential, and how he needs to be himself and not a different version of him.
agreed. And by the way, I just want to say one thing about the table. You can see something else has been going on. Well, between them, we us first seeing the 5 crew members there and Rutherford and
Oh, I've
Boimler
missed,
getting the thing, because you can see something up on the table,
I've missed
that
this.
there is a little machine up on the left hand side. I don't know what they've been doing while they've been waiting there. Presumably they're trying to sort out Rutherford's ocular implant. But yeah, there's some sort of machine up there on the table when you see this. Go on, sir.
So I've got a theory as well. I think the malfunction on his implant will have something to do with the what do you call it? With the subspace potholes. I think it'll have something to do with that big explosion thing that's literally about time, because we also don't know how much time has passed between the start of the episode when we flipped from that scene to William Boimler and when it comes back. It could be minutes, it could be hours,
Yeah.
it could be days. We honestly don't know.
I'm saying there has been time. I saw there was time, but
Yeah,
yeah, as you
there's
said,
definitely
that
been
could
some
be
form of
minutes.
time, but it could be 5 minutes.
Yeah, it is. Another episode. I just want to say one last thing. Okay, we're backtracking a little bit, but when Garrick and Julian Bashir was hitting on the ship, I like that it was Garrick hidden inside a panel, and then you had Bashir's hollow emitter was thrown up in the air because he was hit. The Doctor was hidden in that. Two great references: one to DS9, one to Voyager. 10 out of 10 for those two references as well.
Also, a reference to Star Trek First Contact.
Probably, but help me on that one.
So being inside the what do you call it? Being inside the Jeffries tubes of the ship, so being behind the panel. That's how they escape in medbay when the Borg are on board the Enterprise E.
Oh
And it's the
yes.
holodoc. It's their version of the EMH that distracts the Borg as they do it. So again, different scenario, but I got a lot of memories from First Contact in that scene too.
Oh, cool. Very good. So, before we wrap up, any other references we want to mention or thoughts for next episode?
No, I don't have anything else to mention regarding this episode apart from the fact, again, I really enjoyed it. I got a lot of energy out of this one, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they wrap it all up, hopefully beautifully for us. It's going to be a challenge unless it's like a special hour-long episode, because I don't think 30 minutes is going to do this justice. But let's
Probably not.
see what's going to happen next episode. I think that the whole issue with Rutherford's implant is going to come to light. It's going to have something to do with either the problem or the solution that they're facing. I think that Tendi is going to be badass again, and the Orions might come back into things at some point. I think that Boimler is going to lose his beard. And I'm envisaging, dare I say it, I think we're going to lose someone. And I think we're also going to have a promotion or two as well.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go with. I don't know if I want to go with death, but I'm going to go with. Yeah, they may get some of them might get reassigned to other ships.
I didn't
And
say death.
no, you didn't say death. I. So yeah, I think we would lose them in random promotions or something like that to other ships. I think they're going to leave it open for maybe something else in the future. Maybe this is me hoping a film or something. Or some of them are going to become into like positions of full lieutenants and in charge of a department or something. So.
I do think it's a shame as well, though, because I was looking forward to seeing a live action Rutherford and Tendi. I really wanted to see a live action version of Rutherford and Tendi.
Well, that may still happen. I don't think we've had that go for Strange New World, but in something else.
Who knows?
On that note, I think I'm looking forward to episode 10.
Me too.
Olympus.
Oh, yes. I cannot wait.
In that case, see you next week for our recap of episode 10.
The final one.
No! Live long and prosper. May the force. Oh, wrong show. Wrong show.
May the force be with you, Ben! Live long and prosper, everyone.